This video will show you how to test and replace, if necessary, the thermal fuse on a GE dryer that won't start or run. Safety first, so always disconnect power before servicing any electrical appliance. And be very careful, the interior edges of the machines are very sharp and they will cut you and cause serious injury. You should already have the machine disassembled at this point, and if you need instructions on that, see my video listed in the descriptions below on how to disassemble a GE dryer. I'm setting my ohm meter to continuity test so I get a tone when I attach the two terminals together or the leads together. If you don't have continuity on your ohm meter, just set it to its lowest setting and you'll look for the ohm reading instead. I removed a wire from the fuse and I'm attaching each lead to each terminal, and as you can see I have no continuity. It's staying I and no tone. I stands for infinity. Now if I put the lead on with the other lead, of course they're connected together, you've got very low resistance and you have tone for continuity because it's good. But this one was bad. Here is where it was located at on this particular model. Of course I removed the wires to do the test. Some GE models have the fuse located on the back bulkhead, thereabouts there, and you still have to take the drum out to be able to get to it to work on it. If it's on the side of the heating element like this, to change the bad fuse out, you have to take the heating element assembly loose from the back bulkhead by removing these 4 screws. So just use a Phillips head screwdriver. They should be very easy to get loose and come out. And this pan, when I get all the screws removed, will just simply kind of fall down a little bit. You do want to be careful not to damage the heating element coils when you're doing this. It's okay to touch them lightly, but just be careful not to smush them or do any damage to them. Once you get the last screw out, kind of hold on to the pan because it's going to just like fall if you don't. And the wires that are still attached to the thermostats there on the left side will kind of hold it in place. Remove the other wire from the fuse so you can swing the pan around towards you to actually work on it. And take out that single screw that's holding it in place. It's a Phillips head on this one, so just remove that screw. And once you get the screw out, the fuse will just lift up and out. It's got a little tab that goes into a slot on the side of that. If yours was on the back bulkhead, you would have 2 screws. Just remove the 2 screws and then, of course, screw the other one back in the same position for the new one. Let me go grab a new one, and now I'll put the new one on. And as you can see, I'm going to tell you again, these edges are sharp, so don't get cut. There's the tab on that thermostat. Just put it in the slot and kind of hold it there with your thumb and put the mounting screw back into it. Get it started there and then go ahead and tighten it down with the screwdriver. And now you've got the fuse installed. I'm going to go ahead and reinstall all 4 of the screws that mount the heating element pan to the bulkhead. So you have to kind of line that up. Once you get one in and started, it makes it a lot easier to swing it in place for the other ones to line up. Again, I'm being very careful not to touch too much on these heating element coils, and especially don't want to damage them. I mean, if you can't get them bent against the metal backing there, if they do, they'll short out, of course, which would be a bad thing. And you don't want them bent up either, because if they're bent up, put the tumbler back in, it could make contact with them then if they're sticking up. So make sure they're parallel to the pan. Okay, all 4 of those are installed. So now I'm going to get my tester again and show you when you put it on the 2 leads. Of course, I've got continuity there. That with the new one, make sure it works. And of course I have a ohm reading and I do have continuity tone, so I know that I have a good one now. Reattach the 2 wire leads back to their terminals on this fuse, and now you're done. If you need help reassembling, make sure you see the video listed below for reassembling the GE dryer, and thank you very much for watching.